Has the world always been divided by hierarchies of race and color? If not, then how did the idea of race begin? Why did it ever become a thing? Centuries ago, the continent of Africa was the epicenter of art, science, math, and culture. People came from all over the world to learn from these people, and the entire world benefited from their contributions. They mastered irrigation, which influenced and helped other civilizations to have an easier time in growing their crops. Mathematics originated in Africa. The oldest known mathematical artifacts were found and dated to be 22,000 years old. They were clever astronomers in discovering the Sirius star system. This system would later be rediscovered in the 19th century. Nearly all of Africa's contributions and attributes would be forgotten by the world as the importance of ever-increasing profits overshadowed humanity. Once the idea of race crept into more and more societies, Africans too would soon forget all of whom they once were. People once only separated themselves by tribe, language, and religion. But time slowly began to change, beginning with the influence of a man named Gomes Eanes de Zurara. Zurara was the chief chronicler for the Kingdom of Portugal. He journeyed to the continent of Africa with Prince Henry from 1434 to 1447 and documented his conquest. His writings became a popular book in the 1450s, one called The Chronicle of the Discovery and Conquest of Guinea. Although Africa contained some of the most sophisticated nations at the time, in his book he would publish devastating opinions such as that Africa contained a group of inferior, beastly people and a group of lesser beings. Moreover, since the Africans didn't have Christian beliefs like the citizens of Portugal, he wrote that slavery would be a necessary blessing, one that would civilize and save their African souls. Zurara went on to chronicle the arrival of 6 slave caravels holding 240 slaves in Lagos, Portugal, on August 6, 1444. Overall, his narrative would cover 927 Africans becoming enslaved and converted to Catholicism. His book was the first to separate and divide nations of people by using the terms black and white as to influence the underlying meaning, superior versus inferior. His book later became known as the Defense for the Establishment of Slavery, and thus Gomes Eanes de Zurara became known as the first man to usher in ideas of race onto the familiar path we see today.